Salutations, everyone. Welcome back to another video of Weatherman Nate. I hope you and your family and your friends and those that you know out there are having a blessed Thursday. So, for this weather video, God bless you for watching this video. We have severe weather that's on the table for a large chunk of the country, but mostly I'm focused on two areas for the rest of this afternoon into tonight. These areas here in Nebraska, Iowa, and Minnesota, and then down here in the South and the East Coast, okay? Especially these areas here of North Carolina, Virginia, we got New Jersey, Delaware, those areas there. First, let's start off with these areas here of the lower South and East Coast. We have I'm gonna zoom out here again. We have a possible risk for any severe thunderstorm that's in the light green, and then in the dark green, that's where you have a chance for a much stronger storm. Now let's go to our biggest risk for today. Okay, we have two slight risks here. One up here in North Carolina and Virginia and New Jersey and Delaware, and one down here in Mississippi and Alabama. Now, this is mostly a damaging wind threat. Damaging winds are on the table. We are expecting a line of storms in these areas by probably later on this evening. In these areas here, potentially a line of storms that could produce damaging winds, probably wind gusts as high as 70 miles per hour. And then for the rest of these areas here, probably just 60 miles per hour wind gusts with most of the storms in these areas here. But my main concern is right here in this red area here for 70 miles per hour wind gusts with a line of storms later on this evening. And then we do got a damaging wind threat up here as well. Now, we do got a hail threat, but most of the large to very large hail is focused in Kansas and Nebraska. We do have a tornado threat right here in Nebraska, Iowa, and in Minnesota for a isolated tornado. But then we move all the way over here in New Jersey, Philadelphia, Wilmington, and Delaware. You can see we do have a tornado threat as well. And if you look closely there, this black hatched area here, this is where we could have a strong tornado or a EF2 or greater tornado, okay? So it's not likely, but we do have tornado ingredients, and these tornado ingredients will continue throughout the evening and nighttime, okay, until these line of storms or whatever moves off the coast into the Atlantic, okay? So we do have a tornado threat, okay, with these storms and a flash flood risk. Check that out. We have a flash flood risk in Pennsylvania, Delaware, New York, and Atlantic City there. Atlantic City. And we do got some potential flash flooding also for these areas here. We move up here in areas of New Jersey, New York, close to Philadelphia, those areas there. Here in the red area, this is where we could potentially have our highest risk for flash flooding. let's go to the HRRR model. Let's first focus on the East Coast here, where we are expecting a line of storms. Uh-oh, my map. All right, so we start with this evening. So this is 3 p.m. We potentially have a whole lot of storms, a whole lot of scattered storms in New Jersey and Pennsylvania there. We move into 4 p.m., 5 p.m. Remember, these storms could produce damaging winds, a isolated tornado, potentially a strong tornado, and it could pose a risk for some hail. And then we move into 7 p.m., 8 p.m. Here is our line of storms that I'm talking about. The line of storms that is expected probably by 6 p.m. into 8 to 9 p.m. We are expecting a line of storms in New Jersey, Delaware. This line of storms will continue to move on. This is around 10 p.m. Line of storms moving off the coast. So y'all watch out for these storms here. Remember, it just don't have to be the line of storms. We could have these isolated storms out here. These could pose a risk for those damaging winds and those potential tornadoes and a hail threat. Now we go down here in North Carolina, nothing too much, probably a isolated thunderstorm or two in North Carolina, in eastern North Carolina. Probably a rumble of thunder and some winds. Let's move up here in areas of Nebraska and South Dakota. You can see that we have this potential isolated supercell here, okay? We potentially have to watch that supercell here. This is moving into this evening, and then we move into tonight. Some storms potentially in areas of Minnesota, moving into Wisconsin. And we could have some storms by this evening around 5 p.m., 6 p.m. Some storms starting to fire up in Mississippi, Alabama, and Tennessee, potentially Kentucky, and all across these areas here, starting at probably later this evening. But however, y'all, this is not what it's really going to look like. This is just giving us a good idea, a good idea on what it could potentially look like, y'all. So watch out for these storms, y'all. Watch out for the line of storms. Watch out for the damaging winds, the potential tornadoes, and the hail threat, and the flash flooding, okay? Watch out for all of those. Now, temperature outlook. Here is the CPC temperature outlook for the next 6 to 10 days, because we are expecting some potential some potential cooler air to start coming down into Michigan, New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio areas, the Ohio valleys potentially, and we could have some temperatures for the lows as high as the 50s and 40s. And this cooler air will continue to go down south, okay? So that's what I'm watching out for. Excuse me, y'all. Okay, so here is the tropical cyclone formation outlook for the next 2 weeks. The tropical cyclone formation outlook. You can see the Pacific is absolutely active right now. I mean, we got chips being open, we got fruit drinks, we got a party. Okay, we got a party, and Hawaii potentially has another tropical cyclone that's going to make a close approach. And then more tropical cyclones in the Eastern Pacific. And for the next 2 weeks into probably early September, I am watching out for tropical waves to start coming off Africa into the Atlantic. And we could see something develop. It could be a tropical depression or a tropical storm. We could see something develop, okay? Right now, we have a 20% chance of tropical development in the Atlantic. And look at this. 3 weeks out. we still have something 3 weeks out, a 20% chance of tropical development. So y'all, I am really watching out for the Atlantic for the last week of this month into early September. Now, extreme heat is going to be on the table for the next 2 weeks. For the next 2 weeks in Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, in the red areas there. We got a little chunk of Arizona there. Extreme heat is on the table, y'all. So yeah, y'all watch out for these storms here in the Atlantic and the mid-Atlantic. These storms here. And yeah, y'all, that's it for this weather video, y'all. I hope you enjoyed this video. God bless all of you. All right. I hope you enjoyed this video, y'all. God bless all of you. I'm going to check the watch and warning map out right quick, y'all. I hope you're still watching. I hope. Yeah, so we still got those heat advisories and extreme heat warnings. We now have, it looks like, special weather statements and severe thunderstorm warnings near me here in North Carolina, Eastern North Carolina. So yeah, these are all heat advisories and extreme heat warnings, and we will continue to see more of those and special weather statements, severe thunderstorm warnings, and tornado warnings. We could potentially have some storm chasers and some live streamers live, depending on how things get. Like, for example, Ryan Hall, y'all, or Max Velocity. But however, y'all, have a blessed day. Stay blessed. We are too blessed to be stressed. See you in my next video, friends.